I've been getting things ready for a pop-up market and just slowly restocking my shop. So I'm that kind of person that really needs different kinds of creative inputs. For example, 2 days ago, I wrote a whole chapter in just a few hours, and I was so exhausted that I just didn't continue yesterday or today, and I just decided I want something more grounding, which for me would be jewelry, my art prints, or stickers, which I don't really have to do myself. It's a lot of organizing, just to sign them on my laptop and just order them later on. I haven't been doing much for my shop lately, but because of that pop-up, if I sell a lot, for example, I don't want my shop to be empty. I'ma just do some bestsellers and I don't have to use my brain so much. Hi, I'm Dory and welcome to my channel. By the way, English isn't my first language, so I just say things as they come out.
Get enough. No, I can't get enough. You look in my eyes and I already hope this lasts. Trying hard not to jump, not to move too fast. But we could go all in. We could be in love by the end of the night. Sitting here talking, kissing your lips and I'm coming alive. Or we could start running, make a list of ways that the time just isn't right. Or we could go all in. Yeah, we could be in love by the end of the night. By the end of the night.
Making jewelry feels very different from writing in a way that is less intense. Because when I write, I'm constantly thinking, basically. I'm constantly thinking about every word, every sentence, every scene, if that makes sense, and so on. So this can be quite exhausting after a while. So I thought, because of the market, of course, the pop-up, I need to do stuff anyways that is more like a routine already, and more almost, I would say, repetitive, and like that it just gets more quiet in my head, which I need from time to time, especially when I do other things like this novel project. And yeah, when I do jewelry, I stop to overthink so much, or at all sometimes. It is meditative, if I'm pronouncing that word right. For a long time, I always thought that writing is my greatest passion, and I still think that is the truth. But the thing is, I get creatively burned out, basically, when I write too much, or when I only focus on writing. And I noticed I'm that kind of person that just really, really needs different kind of modes of creating. For example, writing songs is very releasing my emotions, and with painting, practicing my patience, and with jewelry and even computer stuff for my online shop, it's just, I see it, I do it. From time to time, of course, there's a new design, but in the end, it's just in front of me, and all I have to do is just do it without much thinking, and that can be really, really grounding. At first, after a while, I got really bored of it, and it felt like almost like work. Even though it is work, but it felt like just work with no satisfaction, I would say. But now I realize it's really grounding, especially if you're active a lot on other things like writing, where you basically, sometimes I have this image where when I write, you can imagine it like there's already smoke coming out from here, because it's that much of thinking and making sense of things and figuring things out and so on. And with Dory, there's none of that, at least for me. I always thought I'm a person that just starts things and doesn't finish anything, until I discovered that I'm just a person that needs a lot of multitasking to get through the learning process, because I get bored really quick and also overwhelmed, because for example, painting, I learned at a pace that was not healthy no more, I think. I started when I was around 23 or so. I never really painted before that age. So yeah. And that's okay now that I know that, because I understand now that creating doesn't always have to look the same. Sometimes it's more quiet, sometimes it's more repetitive, sometimes it's raw and wild, and sometimes it's just purely emotional. And for me, that's all just part of the creative process.
I will choose a rhythm you can dance